Every city is a living document, a story written in layers of concrete, steel, and memory. But Kuala Lumpur's document is messy. The footnotes are scribbled in the margins, entire chapters are crossed out and rewritten, and sometimes the grammar is just plain wrong.
You feel it when you try to walk out of an ultra modern MRT station and the sidewalk simply vanishes. You see it when a gleaming skyscraper casts its shadow over a century old village. This city wasn't planned so much as it exploded. Its history is as muddy as its name. Sometimes the best way to read this messy document isn't in a library, but right here on the streets themselves.
It all started with this. A friend sent me a screenshot from Google Maps. It called this road, one of the oldest, most important arteries in the city, Ampang Boulevard. It's a small thing, maybe a glitch, maybe a romantic piece of vandalism, but it's the perfect mistake that exemplifies KL, an attempt to impose a grand, foreign-sounding order on a place that has always resisted it, Jalan Ampang. It got me thinking about the names we give our spaces and what they reveal about how a city remembers and forgets its own story. You're watching Explaining Malaysia, a video essay project exploring the soul of Malaysia. I'm your host, Mr. Kuala Lumpur. Today, we're going on a mini walking tour down 3 streets to decode the messy, beautiful, and often baffling way KL deals with its own history. This is our main artery, Jalan Ampang. It's not a boulevard, it's a vein, pumping life from the heart of the city out towards the mountains. Its many lanes trace one of the city's original paths, beaten out of the jungle in the 1850s to connect the new tin mines in Ampang to the messy, muddy river confluence that would become Kuala Lumpur. For over a century, this road has been the city's diplomatic quarter, its embassy row, a place of colonial mansions, international schools, and quiet power. Its history is long and prestigious, so for Google Maps to call it Ampang Boulevard feels like someone putting a cheap fedora on a stately old gentleman. It's a clumsy error, but it's a clue. It shows how easily the real history can be overwritten by a newer, less accurate version.
But the real story isn't on the main road, it's in the footnotes. Little, quiet side streets where the city's memory really gets weird.
So, a short walk from Jalan Ampang brings us here, Jalan Anderson Drive. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the beautiful absurdity of this name. Jalan is Malay for road, drive is English for, well, road. This sign literally says Road Anderson Road. It's a grammatical error, a bilingual tautology carved into the city's landscape. But it wasn't always this way. This is where the city's memory starts to fray. In the colonial era, this street was simply Anderson Drive, most probably named after Guthrie Company owner Sir John Anderson. Makes sense. Post-independence, as part of the national language policy, it was correctly translated to Pasiaran Anderson. Pasiaran is a perfect Malay equivalent for a drive, a small residential lane off a street. The logic was clear, the history preserved. But then, sometime in recent years, the logic broke. The city forgot its own translation. The signs changed back, but not quite. They re-emerged with this strange hybrid name. This isn't just a typo. It's a symptom of institutional amnesia. It's the city making a conscious effort to translate its past, and then, a generation later, forgetting that it had already done so, and creating a clumsy, nonsensical compromise. It's a perfect metaphor for how we often handle our colonial history, not by erasing it, but by remembering it incorrectly.
Okay, so if Anderson Drive was an example of the city forgetting its history, our final stop is an example of KL inventing a new one. We're on what the street signs call Jalan Gerbang Ampang Hilir.
This name is even more of a puzzle. Let's break it down. Ampang Hilir is straightforward. It means Lower Ampang, Before independence, this area was known as Lower Ampang Grove. The word grove is lovely, evocative, but it doesn't have a direct one-to-one Malay translation. So when it was time to update the name, someone had to make an interpretive leap.
They chose to call it Gerbang. Gerbang means gateway. It's a poetic, grand word. It's not a standard word for a street. In fact, you won't find another Jalan prefix Gerbang anywhere else in the city.
It's a creative, almost literary invention. Gerbang Ampang Hilir, the gateway of Lower Ampang. It's unusual, but it makes a certain kind of sense.
But then the messiness creeps in again. Look at these newer signs. Jalan Gerbang Ampang Hilir, Road Gateway Lower Ampang. Like on Anderson Drive, the redundant Jalan has been added, turning a poetic invention into a piece of nonsense. So, on three streets within a few hundred meters of each other, we have three different kinds of historical mess. On Jalan Ampang, a digital error trying to impose a false identity. On Jalan Anderson Drive, a case of collective amnesia. And on Gerbang Ampang Hilir, a case of creative invention followed by bureaucratic confusion. This isn't a flaw, this is Kuala Lumpur.
Now, as anyone who might know KL at all would echo, this city was never meant to be neat. It was born from a chaotic collision of miners, warriors, and colonial officials on a muddy riverbank. Its entire existence is a high-stakes bet that somehow survived floods, war, and near bankruptcy. The mess is in its DNA. These street names are a living echo of that origin story. They show a city constantly negotiating with its past, its colonial legacy, its multicultural identity, its national language, and often coming up with awkward, contradictory answers. For anyone trying to understand Malaysia, this is a crucial insight. Our approach to history, to place, to identity, is rarely a straight line. It's a process of translation, retranslation, forgetting, and reinventing. It's a conversation that never quite ends. These aren't just mistakes on a street sign. They are clues to the soul of a city that is forever trying to figure out what it was, what it is, and what it wants to become. If you enjoy this video and want to support Explaining Malaysia, please subscribe and consider joining my Substack. It's all free with transcripts of these essays as well as weekly recommendations of books and other texts I'm reading. I'm also grateful to also say I've received the odd donation or two on our Ko-fi since I started. I'm biased, but I'd say it's a great way to tip and support one of Malaysia's only history curators. Link in the description. So, what's the messiest, most confusing, or most fascinating street name you've encountered in Malaysia? Why not task your friendly neighborhood Mr. Kuala Lumpur to investigate and answer for you? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this walk through the city's memory, make sure you hit that like button. You've been watching Explaining Malaysia. We've got a lot more coming. Thanks for watching.